Hi everyone, Matt here, Simply Strength, and welcome back to the Corrupted Man series. My topic today revolves around the 1995 Michael Scorsese crime drama Casino, starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci and Sharon Stone. More specifically, I'll be focusing on the primary character of Sam Ace Rothstein throughout this video. The film is truly great, in my opinion, worthy of comparison to other benchmarks of the mafia crime genre, such as Goodfellas, The Godfather, Donnie Brasco and such. There will be some major plot spoilers here to illustrate my points, so please go and watch the film if you haven't done so. With that out of the way, let's begin. We are first introduced to Sam Ace Rothstein in 1973, portrayed by the legendary Robert De Niro, as the film's narrator and principal character. A Jewish-American sports gambling handicapper, initially Ace is an associate of the Chicago mob, and superb at what he does, hence why the mafia use him. He's shown to be a wizard with odds and probability, able to make swift, high-stakes decisions and exhibits a studious, meticulous approach to the craft. Very early on, he is sent to Las Vegas to supervise the running of the Teamsters-funded Tangiers Casino on the mob's behalf, given his expertise. He's initially alone, but that changes later on for the worst. Save for his best friend, mob enforcer and capo, Nicky Santoro. Ace becomes the boss of the casino and rapidly doubles the profits, which are then skimmed off the top by the mob before the records are passed on to tax agencies. The mob elite are impressed with Sam's work and send Nicky, his brother Dominic and their crew to Vegas to safeguard the casino from other mob attention. Whilst initially productive, as Nicky tends to watch Sam's back, his violent and aggressive nature eventually causes problems when he is banned from every casino in the city and placed in the infamous Black Book. Not one to be held back, Nicky forms his own crew, sets up front businesses and then proceeds to conduct unsanctioned shakedowns and thefts. Sam finds this worrying, and the fact that his friendship with Nicky is public knowledge, given the bodies piling up in the streets, provides unwanted attention. All Sam wants to do is stay low, run the casino, keep the money funneling into the coffers, and be successful. As if that wasn't enough, Sam notices hustler Ginger whilst watching the casino floor security cameras. She's played fantastically by Sharon Stone, even if the performance makes me rage every time I watch it. She is initially on the arm of another punter at the table, rolling the dice for him and acting as eye candy. Unbeknownst to a man, she's stealing chips from him, and when she deems his reward to her unsatisfactory, based purely on the fact her theft was poorly disguised, she becomes aggressive and causes a huge scene on the casino floor. The woman is complete trash, driven purely by money and materialism, and this is where everything begins to go wrong for Ace. Ace is attracted to her charms and ability to work a room, and sees her as an asset as well as a love interest, although in the narrative he admits that, for a girl like Ginger, love costs money. Sam demonstrates genuine beta male, uber simp characteristics here, conceding that Ginger brought in a lot of high rollers and big players, but that her mission in life was money. Sam also states that Ginger was one of the best liked, best known and respected hustlers in town, so by my reckoning he's attracted to her from a desire of getting a queen or trophy wife, as he is indisputably a king of Vegas. He can't see beyond the bullshit and simply admit that Ginger is a slut, a liar and best left well alone. He even mentions that smart hustlers like her could keep a guy awake for 2 or 3 days before sending him home broke to the little woman and his bank examiners. Indeed, whenever Sam gives her money and sees no change, she lies about spending it in the casino, but Sam knows full well that she just pocketed the cash. Yet despite knowing all this, declaring so in the narration, he still opts to marry her. Initially she refuses, but when Sam, in true proto-simp fashion, it's a new word I've coined just in this video, assures her that even if things don't work out she'll be set up for life, she relents. Absolute irreverent simpery right there, and they eventually have a daughter and are married. Very early into the marriage the problems begin, when Ace and Nicky catch Ginger giving money to a former pimp, Lester Diamond. Sam follows them to a diner and implores Lester to leave Ginger alone, eventually having Nicky and his crew beat him up. Ace also alienates Clark County Commissioner Pat Webb by firing his incompetent brother-in-law and refuses to take him back. Webb pulls Sam's license application from the backlog and forces a licensing hearing in 1980, during which Webb's connections in the gaming board and state senate reject Sam's application. Sam then takes to television and becomes a media personality, openly criticising the city government of corruption and drawing a lot of unwanted attention. Sam blames Nicky's exploits for his own problems and ignores the advice of the mob bosses to return home. Sam and Nicky have a heated argument in the desert, during which Sam is apprehensive for his life, after going over Nicky's head to the bosses and blaming Nicky for all of the heat coming down on both of them. It is a shame in the film to see their initial brotherhood fall into pieces as everything self-destructs. The bosses notice that the amounts of the skim are getting lighter, owing to local mobsters taking much of it for themselves. They appoint Kansas City underboss Artie Piscano to oversee the skim, but he keeps incriminating ledger documents detailing all aspects of the process and is caught on an FBI bug discussing it. Ginger attempts to file for divorce, but Ace refuses given her alcohol and drug abuse problems at this stage, and she will no doubt spend all the money in a year and come slithering back to him anyway. Ace is enraged when Ginger escapes with Amy and plans to go to Europe with Lester. He talks her into coming back and promises her safety, but later overhears her on the phone discussing having him killed and throws her out of the house in spectacular fashion. Again, Sam relents and lets her return in another simp move, with the caveat that she wear a beeper so he can get hold of her at any time. Ginger turns to Nicky for help in getting her share of Ace's money from the bank, and they begin an affair that is against mob rules and could get all three of them killed. Ginger is effectively cuckolding the man who provided everything for her and maintains her lavish lifestyle with money, jewels and everything she could ever want. Ace nearly explodes with rage when he returns home and finds Amy tied to her bed so that Ginger could go out with Nicky. Learning of the affair, Ace disowns her. She turns to Nicky, but he refuses to have his best friend killed and blames Ginger for her own problems, claiming that Ace will give her nothing now. Enraged, she attacks Nicky and he throws her out of his restaurant. The next morning, Ginger has gone haywire and arrives at the Rothstein residence, intent on obtaining her share of the jewels and money. Ramming her car into Ace's, she causes a neighbourhood disturbance such that the police are dispatched. She creates a distraction so she can obtain the key to the safe deposit box and makes off with most of Sam's cash. Unbeknownst to all, this is transpiring under FBI surveillance, and the feds arrest Ginger in the hopes that she'll testify against the mob. Because of the threat posed by the mob, Ginger stays quiet. However, the damage is already done, and the FBI have all they need to bust the entire operation. The empire crumbles in spectacular fashion, with the mob purging the entire scam, killing anyone involved to prevent them from testifying. Ginger is found to have had her money and jewels looted by bikers, hustlers, drug addicts and felons, and eventually dies of a hot dose in a scummy hotel. Ace has almost killed himself in 1983 in a botched car bombing, and although the bosses didn't order it, Sam suspects that Nicky was involved, their friendship destroyed. Nicky and his brother themselves are beaten to death by their own crew in a graphic scene in exchange for clemency for covering up Nicky's affair with Ginger. The mob had had enough of him, but that's how dangerous the wrong woman can be, as Nicky found out. An older Sam is revealed to be back where he started at the end of the film, as a sports handicapper in San Diego, ending with the philosophical line, "And why mess up a good thing? And that's that." You're damn right, why mess up a good thing? But then, if you didn't, we wouldn't have had a great film plot full of life lessons for men. The key aspects we can learn from Sam and this great film is don't fuck with ratchets, whores and sluts. Protect what's yours and be very careful who you date. The wrong kind of woman can destroy you. Never get married. Do your best to ignore the messages emanating from your dick. Also, pour your energy into passions. It's clear throughout the film that, for good or bad, betting and gambling is Sam's great skills, and he loses sight of that halfway through. Safeguard your knowledge, skills, passions, ambitions and pursuits. Always put them ahead of everything else. I've included some YouTube links of scenes from the film if you've watched it already to remind you of some of the key points I've discussed here. They are enraging to watch, such are the great performances in the picture, especially from Sharon Stone. I hope you enjoyed this episode and found my thoughts and ideas useful. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd also be keen to read your own perspectives down below. If you'd like to support my work on this channel, help me grow it further, please check out my Patreon page. Thanks for listening, and until next time, take care.